Hi, welcome back to Normal Prepping. My name is Belinda and I am here to give you a revised video of our terracotta pot heater. And I'll put a link to it up on here on the top. On my last video, I asked for suggestions on how to make this heater work because it was not working out for me the way I wanted it to heat. So per viewer comments, I am going to do a couple other suggestions to see if this works, test it with my heat gun, and then hopefully, I'm very excited that it will work. So we would have an alternate heating source made with the items you can have at your home. First thing I'm going to do is we're going to start off with a terracotta pot. And once I said before, is an 8-inch. You want the kind with the hole in it for ventilation. What I did a little different here is I put this in a pan, which my candle is going to sit on this terracotta pot. And the reason why I did that is because I don't want any spillage. If something were to spill, it got knocked over, it would spill in here. And hopefully if it got worse than that, it would spill in my pot. Another thing per viewer suggestion is, which is an excellent suggestion by the way, and I don't know why I didn't think of it, is to have some sort of fire extinguisher handy. Have it next to your counter where you have this sitting. You can even get the smaller counter ones that are just, easier to handle and use, but always have a fire extinguisher handy anytime you're dealing with especially this kind of candle which is filled with shortening, because those are very, very flammable. So what I'm going to do, per of your suggestion, part of our problem was the ventilation. We didn't have enough ventilation on the previous heater that I made. We were given the suggestion to use rings that I use in canning, and I have a ton of these laying all over the place. So what I'm going to do is set these in here because I want to give it that extra ventilation space on the bottom of my terracotta pot. It's just my candle filled with shortening with my candle in the middle. I'm going to go ahead and light this. There we go. And I am going to set my terracotta pot on top like so. And this is giving it more ventilation on the bottom, about 1 inch space I think. And I am going to place my elbow back on top. Set it securely on top. Make sure this is all okay. There we go. And this is how you build the terracotta pot heater. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and test it for heat. Get my little handy dandy test gun. I'm going to test it for the initial heat. And as I did in the first video, I'm going to come back in like 30 minutes, retest the pot and the elbow, check out those temperatures, and then again in about an hour, I'm going to retest it again and see if this ventilation on the bottom is actually going to make my heater work, because I really, really hope it does, because if it does, this is an awesome, awesome prepping tool to have in your storage. So let's go ahead and test this. Oop. Looks like this is a steady 73. We're going to test the elbow. It's moving. About 73.2. Looks about right. So now what we're going to do is come back in half an hour and see how this goes. So stick with me and we'll review this shortly. So now we're back. It's been 30 minutes. So we are going to once again test the temperature of my terracotta pot heater. So let's get that going. We start off on the pot. Oh boy, yeah, it's 80 degrees at the moment, which is this increase. Now we're going to do the elbow. Oh, 82.2. So it is going up, and it feels much, much hotter on here on the elbow than it did in my last test. So I'm going to continue to test this for you. We will be back in 30, 40 minutes or so. And once again, recheck the heat of our heater. Okay, so now our time lapse has been an hour, and we're going to go ahead and check the temperature once again. My terracotta pot is at 89. My elbow oh, come on. .6. And I'm going to try something a little different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add another candle to this and see if my temperature goes up a little more. So let me get this. And I have room to put another candle in here. It should fit perfectly. Because I'm really trying to get this to work. Because I would love to have a heating source if I didn't have one. And if I didn't have, if I didn't have any power also. Okay. Maybe adding another candle would make all the difference. Okay, here we go. So we're going to let that heat up, come back for another test in 30 minutes, and see if we have another heat temperature change. Okay, I'm back again, and I put in the 2 candles. I did another test, and we're going to check the results of the heat. So on the pot, look at that. I'm going to wait for this to stop. $130.6. Wow. Here we go. Let's check the elbow. Oh, I'm sorry, 85.1. So that it is hotter. And what made a huge difference for this to get hot was to add more candles. I'm guessing the more candles you add underneath your clay pot, the more heat will generate, because when you think about it, candles only can let off so much heat. So if you put multiple candles on here, you're going to get a better result. We had a viewer suggest that the way this works is you use tea candles, these little tea light candles, because what matters most to get this heat going is the number of wicks that you have. So what we're going to do next is we're going to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tea candles. I'm going to get these lit, and we're going to do as we did before. We're going to let it run. We're going to check our temperatures in between time and see how this turns out. So let me get all of these lit. And these are my smell good candles. Got it. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my clay pot back on top. I got my ventilation here on the bottom. I am going to put my elbow back on top. Now, as I did with the other candles, I am going to check my initial temperature. So let's go ahead and get that taken care of. My clay pot currently is 75.6. My elbow is 77. So there we go. So I'm going to come back and check this in 30 minutes. So we will check the temperature then. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes since I lit my tea lights. Now it's time for a temperature test. My tea pot is 192. And what I'm going to do is measure the inside temperature. Look at that. 240 on the inside. That is a huge difference using little tea lights. And as I touch it, I am feeling some heat. So come back again in 30 minutes and we'll recheck our temperature. Okay, so this is my final test. It has been an hour since we started the tea candle method, and I'm going to check for heat. My tea pot is terracotta pot. Seem to have gone down a little. 210. I'll check in here. This is 254. That is hot. But, and this is very hot to the touch. It is hot. This is very hot. This, if I were going to rely on the amount of heat coming out of here to keep me warm, I'm still not convinced. I mean, yes, this is all very hot. Temperature in here was hot, is hot. But is this going to keep me warm if I were huddled around it? I'd have to be this close. And that heat would have to be right on me to keep me warm. So, I mean, I'm trying every method possible, and I still have to say this is not a reliable heater for me. So, do the test yourself at home. Tell me if you found it to work and what you did. Leave me a comment. Thank you for watching. If you're a new subscriber who just joined, I hope you enjoy this video and continue to watch. Thank you.